This is Sarah.
And this is Rachel.
And this is the Rippah Diaries, a podcast where we rip apart every episode of the Vampire Diaries. Warning, there are potentially spoilers ahead as this is a rewatch podcast.
Today we're talking about episode 5, You're Undead to Me. In this episode, Damon is still locked up in the cellar and he's calling out to Caroline, trying to get her to free him. They have the car wash. There's always something going on in Mystic Falls. The car wash is another thing. And Elena and Stefan are together and sort of happy, even though he's been ghosting her. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
The typical roundup of drama.
Yeah.
I also feel like it's notable in this episode we get a lot of, like, new vampire info.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to episode 3, we got a lot. This one we also got a lot of new...
Yes.
New little learnings, factoids. Stefan can eat garlic. Wow.
Important.
Things we needed to know. Things we wanted to know.
Yeah.
We also get to see desiccating for the first time, or they talk about it, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Damon's really at that level yet.
Not quite, but, like, you get the idea that it could get worse.
Yes, and they explain that it could get worse.
Yeah.
They, like, flat out have a conversation about what will happen if he stays locked up there, if he does not have any blood. And then, of course, we're also seeing really the effects of vervain. We saw in the last episode that it can, like, take you down. But, like, not only can it take you down, it can keep you down.
Yes, it can keep you out.
Yes, and it is to Damon right now.
Yeah.
So that's definitely some of the highlights. Also the ring. They, like...
Oh, yeah, they say the stone, it needs to be lapis lazuli.
Yes,
yeah.
And, like, Stefan's obviously very adamant about not taking it off at the car wash.
Yeah.
Which, again, I never remember, like, if we've gotten explicit answers on things like the ring before.
I know they talked about it because Damon sort of explained to Caroline that that's how he walks in the day.
True.
When he gave
but they're just hammering it in a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I think also in this episode it kind of works as another hint for Elena on all of the weird things that are going on. So, yeah, there's, like, several of those things that we get that sort of start to indicate to us how this vampire world works.
Yeah.
And how this Mystic Falls world works.
Yes. I was about to say, and the witch world.
Yes.
Because we finally get... I mean, we've gotten a little bit of Bonnie's powers, definitely her psychic abilities, but those seem to be gone. She's no longer really psychic, but she is definitely a witch. She's burning things down.
Significantly more powerful than they led us to believe. I mean, she did light an entire room of candles at the Lockwood party, but she lit an entire car on fire in this one.
Starting from water.
Yes.
And soap. Like, it's not like, I don't know.
She didn't start from charcoal or something.
Yeah, she's not starting from, like, gasoline. I don't know. Like, she's starting from water, which you would think you can't light on fire.
Not necessarily flammable, but Bonnie did it.
Yeah.
She's
powerful. Just that powerful, yeah.
Yeah, but she's obviously not controlling it at all.
No, she clearly does not know what's going on.
The first magical moment we see is she makes the water bucket and the hose blow up in Tiki.
Yes.
Standout character of this episode. Tiki's face.
Bitch of the episode, Tiki.
Yeah, for some reason in this episode alone, they just decided to add this random Mystic Falls mean girl who is just a menace to everyone in the whole episode.
Mean to Bonnie, mean to the random person who comes to the car wash.
I think it was her grandpa.
And her grandfather.
And the random guy.
Both,
Yes, so weird that she was just there. But Bonnie, it's definitely like a... story choice to give something for Bonnie to be enraged by.
Yes.
And then we see that that's how her powers start to come out. Is like, in that moment, it is rage that brings out her powers. And she makes the water explode. She makes the car basically explode.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're starting to see those Bonnie magical skills happening.
Yes.
Which is exciting. I love the witch era. So I'm ready for it.
No, I really do too.
I really like how when the car does set on fire, Stefan is the one that stops her, and he, like, notices immediately that it's her, which, of course, makes sense. Things we'll learn later. Stefan knows that the Bennetts are witches, not just in, like, you know, Bonnie mentioned it at the dinner party, like,
I think I'm a witch. Yeah.
No, like, he knows it's legit.
Yeah.
The other element that started to come into play just a tiny bit is the necklace.
Yes, Emily's necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sort of see Caroline now has the necklace because Damon dropped it when he was trying to steal it from her and kill her.
Casual.
And she just kind of shows it to Bonnie. I don't know if Bonnie really interacts with it all that much.
No. She says it's ugly. She's like...
Yeah, she's like, I don't like this. Yeah.
But nothing really happens. But I do think that they give us some of those, like, visual cues. They give us a close-up on the necklace when Bonnie's around. And it's like, okay, clearly... we're supposed to be,
something's
like,
gonna
associating Bonnie to this necklace. It's not just a regular necklace.
Right.
Which we will obviously see a lot more of in the next few episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, it is with Caroline.
Yes.
Which, Caroline.
Caroline. Still being manipulated by Damon. He's calling out to her, like I said before, and he's trying to talk to her, which is really interesting because we know he's weakened by vervain. He hasn't fed in, 4 days. I guess Stefan is trying to dry him out. He hasn't been giving him blood. So yeah, 4 days. And somehow he's still able to, like, get inside of her mind, astral project in front of her. Like, he appears to her in front of this, or in the school, he appears in front of her.
Yeah.
What? And he makes the crow follow her around.
Yeah.
How? How is he so powerful? I don't understand.
I don't know. And the reason Damon kind of briefly gives Caroline is, I just wanted you to know it really bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of all he says really quickly. It's like, oh, I just wanted you to know. I guess that's all it takes is willpower.
Yeah,
I don't know.
sure.
Should definitely take some higher level of supernatural ability, but we pretty much never see it again.
No. Which, again, I think in these early episodes, you kind of have to accept they weren't really sure how far they wanted to push things and what would work. Because that could make Damon too powerful.
Don't know how he randomly got in her mind, but
no
he
clue.
did.
He somehow did. He astral projects. He gets her to come to let him out, and she does. Poor Zach arrives there too little too late. He tries. He really tries. He gets Caroline out.
He does save Caroline's life. Caroline easily could have been on the, like, done list for this episode, and luckily she wasn't, which she almost was, especially because Damon tried to gaslight her. He's just like, you liked it.
You liked it. Yeah.
Evil man.
He's still not his best.
No.
He needs another episode or two before he kind of comes into his own.
A few, probably.
Yeah, probably more than 1 or 2.
But yeah, then Zach is there, and poor Zach, he can't catch a break, which, speaking of things that they probably didn't know where they wanted to go, he says, I didn't have a family because of you. But he says specifically, I
avoided having a family because of you. Yeah. Yeah.
Which, if you've seen later seasons, we know that's not really the case.
But he was compelled to forget, right?
That's what I was going to ask. I was like, he must have been compelled to forget. And I do feel like Stefan maybe vaguely says that, but that line, like, surprised me because I just wasn't really expecting that. But it's so sad.
I know. It really kills me.
We've now started the list of Damon, you shouldn't have done that list.
Yeah.
Damon, that was too far list. And unfortunately, probably the number 1 person on that list will be coming very soon, which we won't talk about yet.
Yes.
But yes, this definitely, Damon killing Zach joins the list of, that was too far.
Yeah.
That was
it
not
was
a good
definitely
move.
Too far. Yeah.
But he had to do something, I suppose, to get out of that.
I guess. It's also just the way he snaps his neck with ease. He just walks out. He doesn't even pay any attention. He's just trying to get to Caroline to feed.
Well, and that's the thing that's weird. It's like, I could have understand if it was like a rabid feeding thing a little bit better, where it's like he's letting the animal brain take over. He's not even thinking about it, whatever. But no, he fully, like, decides to do that and just like
snap his neck and be done with it.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about that.
Well, let's think about Logan then.
Oh, yes. Logan and the council. Basically everything he's doing this episode, he's doing as part of the council.
Yes.
Which, as we know, they're just searching for vampires. I don't know if they've really explicitly said that.
They have. I think they don't say the word so much because, for whatever reason, they're always discussing these things in public venues.
That's true.
So it's not like you can exactly be at the Mystic Grill and be like, hey, Sheriff Forbes, how have you been finding those vampires lately? But they do have a whole conversation in the grill about checking abandoned homes, about checking warehouses, which I find it so funny that they're like, 100-year-old powerful creatures exist? They must be living in abandoned warehouses and only coming out at night. Yeah. Like, how would they not believe that they're staying somewhere nicer and better than just a random abandoned house?
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Logan suggests it, but...
Yeah. Well, they know about mind control, too. I don't know.
Do they, though? They must not.
Well, they know about vervain.
Oh, that's true. So they have to.
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
They just assume that vampires aren't going to compel people for a place to stay.
That's what I was trying to think, but then I realized, but they have the vervain, so.
But maybe that's what Logan was getting to, because when Sheriff Forbes says that they checked all these random places and weren't finding any.
Yeah.
Logan says, like, check private residence. So, I suppose they must be inferring that. But
yeah,
I think they really just don't understand the, like, extent to the power
they
of
definitely
vampires.
don't.
They definitely don't. They're just, like, DTDTD. We will just hang out and wait and see how this goes.
Yeah.
Should be easy. Whatever.
Yeah, I think they also assume that they must sort of be off on their own. Like, there's no way they're integrating into society.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they're in warehouses. Like,
Yeah.
I think they couldn't stand to be around people unless they were feeding. Like, I have to imagine that's what kind of part of their thought process, too. Because they don't know anything about vampires.
They don't know anything. And it goes to the way that they talk about them. Liz kind of says stuff alluding to that fact that it's like they're not people, they're not they're monsters, like they couldn't possibly be coming out and like being around people, and they do think that they're fully like bound to the night, that they can't come out during the day, which obviously would affect it. Like in a small town, if you're only coming out at night, like you're gonna look like a weirdo. Like people aren't usually out at night in a small town.
No,
so
the Mystic Grill probably closes at 9. Maybe 8 on a weekday. I don't know.
Yeah, literally. Sundown, girls closed.
Yeah.
Where are you going to go as a vampire?
Nowhere.
So, yeah, it's not crazy that they don't really know, but it is interesting.
Yeah.
But obviously they know something because they're very desperate to get the Gilbert watch.
Yes.
That's like the whole point of everything Logan's doing in this episode.
Yeah, we sort of find out, and I think they hint to it in the last episode, but we find out for real that Logan is only talking to Jenna because he's trying to steal this watch from Jeremy. And I don't think we've talked about what the watch does. We just know that he wants that watch that Jeremy was supposed to bring to the founders party.
Yeah, they haven't told us anything yet about what it becomes, what it will do, why they want it. I don't know if you even really get the pieces to that until like the very last episode of the season.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a thing the whole season that they're constantly trying to find this watch.
Right.
And Logan did find it this episode. He
just steals it. Yeah. And he tells
into
Jeremy, just looking for the bathroom.
He's not good enough for Jenna. Jenna is... We never get enough Jenna, but in this episode I really like how... I don't know, she's so, like, sassy and playful.
Yes,
and I love her energy.
She's so fun. She has such a good dynamic with Elena, especially in the beginning of the episode when they get a little side conversation. I don't know. She's just so great, and I love her, and she only gets better throughout the show, and I'm like...
Yeah.
Logan is the first of many ways that the writers betrayed her.
That's so accurate.
He's the worst.
Yeah, Jenna deserved better. But at least Elena's using him to her advantage. I think it's, like, really smart that he was, like, introduced as a tool for a way for Elena to get some more information.
Yes.
So that was smart. But, of course, Logan's just using them right back by going and getting Jeremy's stuff.
Yeah, everyone in the Logan circle is using each other, except Jenna. Poor Jenna.
Poor Jenna.
But, yeah, Elena using Logan using everyone.
Yeah. Speaking of people using people, Jeremy and Vicky.
Oh, my God. Ugh, Vicky. Yeah, she's... So, I think she does have feelings for Jeremy, but she's so clearly, in part, using him for Elena's drugs, I guess, that she got from the car accident. I don't know.
Yeah. Even if she's not using him for that purpose, she doesn't realize... She's not mature enough to realize, like, the boundary that is, like, pressing, especially when Jeremy has explicitly told her no multiple times.
Yeah.
Like... That's the problem there. I do believe she has real feelings for him and that she does really genuinely like and care about Jeremy.
Yes.
But I do think, like, she's just not mature enough for that kind of relationship and she doesn't respect him at all.
No.
And so it's really unfortunate that this is the timeline that they're in and, you know, we know where it's going.
Where this is going. Yeah.
The next several episodes, unfortunately. Yeah. Actually, literally the next episode. So, very unfortunate.
Yeah.
They get some good moments, though, at the start of this episode, which is nice.
They do.
It is nice to see them actually, like, happy and enjoying each other, and, like, we don't get a lot of that for Jeremy.
They're finally together, at least.
Yeah. They've finally just been like, okay, no more Tyler drama.
Yeah.
No more, like, will they, won't they drama. They're just, like...
They're just together,
enjoying their mornings. And they have, like, the cute scene where, like, Elena, like, walks into the bathroom and sees Vicky. It's, like, it's just a nice little... spot of, like, normalcy. Is that the word?
Yes. It's very normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works really well.
Yeah. It's cute. Like, it's fun. It's also, like, just feels very high school. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it that's really nice. It's sort of like why we like Stefan and Elena. It's, like, pure.
Yes. Until, of course, Jeremy has to call her out for just always wanting to get high.
Yeah.
Which is really sad that, like, Jeremy's got this whole bad boy rep. And maybe in part it was just because he wanted to get Vicky, you know? Like, maybe he was doing it just to impress her. And now that he has her, he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But, of course, that's all she wants to do still. So,
yeah.
It's unfortunate that it, like, kind of starts to tear down their relationship in this episode. Because, of course, after he even says, I don't want to, like, just spend all of our time getting high, she then takes him to the cemetery to get high.
Yeah.
It's like, in one ear, out the other. She just didn't care enough to, like, make a change there.
Yeah. Which I do think really presses home, like, the sadness of Vicky's character. I mean, she's clearly an addict.
Yeah.
And she even has, like, a conversation with Jeremy, or an argument, where she basically says, like, this is what my life is going to be. I'm probably always going to waitress at the grill. I'm always going to be, like, a small town lifer or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, a waste of small, I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Something that Jeremy calls all of the other people there.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I think, and she's probably not wrong. Like, she was never set up to really,
Yeah.
I don't know, they never gave her a good story. Her and Matt's story is really sad. And she's probably right. And I don't know. It's such a sad note for them to...
Yeah, but I do love that scene because I do feel like while Jeremy is probably the one a little bit more, like, correct or in the right in terms of just saying, like, I want to be with you, not just get high with you.
Yes.
And he's being mature about, like, saying that to her. She's in the right for calling him out about, like, being judgmental about, like, her friends and her situation. And, you know, she says, like, you're the, like, guy with the big house and you're just going through a phase because your parents died, which rude, she shouldn't have said that, but still it's still fair to say, like, you're just going through your rebellious phase, and I'm, like, the girl from the wrong side of the tracks who you're just, like, letting take you through this. Like, it's a pretty good speech from her to, like, call him out on that front, you know? But, you know, like he says to Vicky, I'm just in a romantic mood. Because
I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to mention that little conversation. I don't think I've ever picked this up before in my countless times watching these episodes. Jeremy says he's in a romantic mood after Vicky says to Jeremy, that was really nice of you to have Stefan come over and make dinner for Elena. Which earlier in the episode, I'm working backwards, but earlier in the episode, Jeremy was like, you just need to eat Elena, after she was clearly upset about something. So I was like, when he says that comment, like, you just need to eat, you're like, ugh, classic, like, 14-year-old brother, not understanding. But then he has Stefan come over and make her dinner, and I was like, Jeremy, like, you're actually so sweet. Like, I love him. He gets better every time I watch the show.
I know. Jeremy. I do feel like Jeremy gets a little bit too much hate, and sometimes it's deserved. We won't speak about the cheating on girlfriends with dead girlfriend situations that he's constantly somehow getting himself in.
Listen, we don't know what it's like to be haunted. No, I'm just kidding.
I suppose we don't, but I still not
At least I hope we don't.
I'd still not cheat with my dead ex. Like, I mean, I suppose...
Not great.
Are they really your ex if they die?
If they die? I don't know. See? We'll get into that when we talk about it.
Yeah, I guess Jeremy Gilbert's vote would be no.
Jeremy would say no.
Still goes on.
He was just in a polygamist relationship. He's in a throuple. It never ended.
Yeah, except it really was not consensual from at least one of the parties.
That's true.
That's the real problem here. So that takes us to Elena.
Yeah.
Elena, this episode, is really playful at the start in a way that I really enjoy. I feel like, you know, we've said this multiple times. Elena in the third episode. Sorry, it's all blending together. In the third episode, Elena says, I'm not just gloomy graveyard girl. That's her whole vibe. The first episode, she is literally gloomy graveyard girl. And it's the vibe that we continue to get from Elena throughout the entire series because of circumstance. Everyone around her is constantly dying or otherwise having traumatic events happen. But this is one of those few episodes in the first half where she just has this playful energy, even though she is, like, mad at Stefan, annoyed with Stefan, all things Stefan. She's still, like, really playful. Like, when her and Jenna do have that conversation in the kitchen and, like, she's like, I'm not going to be one of those sad girls that sits around and waits for a guy to call her. And the way she eats her cereal is just, like, so comedic. It's like, Nina would be a really good, I think she's perfect for drama. Like, that girl can cry and, like, sob like no other. But she actually has some really good comedic timing, too. And I feel like it is highlighted in this episode. One of my favorite Stefan and Elena moments, besides the, you quit, I start moment that's in episode 3, is in this one at the car wash when she, like, has to take her long sleeve shirt off to be sexy at the car wash, and she's just, like, fumbling, and it's, like, so awkward. And
okay, but why can't she take her shirt off? What?
I feel like
that scene for me is a little too, like, tropey. She's like, I can't take my shirt off. Like, what is going on? Just take it off.
I like it. I feel like it's just supposed to be this, like, cutesy, awkward thing. Like, she's definitely just struggling to be cutesy for him. But it's, like, so playful. And the way she, like, the face she makes at him after she takes it off, and he, like, puts his hands on her face, it's so cute.
It's cute. I just don't like the setup. I don't like the setup. I don't know.
Too flirty for you.
Not too flirty. Too high school cutesy,
well, yeah,
I
that's
think.
what makes
I don't know.
Cutesy.
I'm like... She's clearly trying to do it. And I'm like,
either of us did it as grown women.
I feel like, stop.
No, it's not cute as a grown woman. But she's 17 years old.
Okay. I guess. I don't love it. But you moved me more to neutral.
I think it's cute. I think what makes it cute is Nina. I think if, like, any other character had done it, it would be like, But she just has, like, the perfect way of playing it off so that it just comes off so, like, I don't know, it just works. It just works when she does it.
I mean, she could do anything.
She can do anything. She can do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
I love her. She also has some good playful moments with Matt at the grill. They played pool for a little bit.
That was fun.
I really like Matt and Elena's friendship also.
I know. I kind of wish they never really gave them, like, the relationship background. I think it works because Elena says from the get-go it was just because we were friends and it was like a proximity relationship.
Yeah.
But they are really good as friends.
Yeah. And Matt is just such a good person. He's like...
He is.
Stefan's a good guy and like...
He is, yeah.
He really like pushes her to talk to him and to like make it work, and he just wants the best for her even if it's not gonna like be the best for him.
Yeah, he really does. And I related to him talking to Elena about Stefan. When he talks to Stefan about Elena and says she just really values trust, I was like, Matt is really a good person. Like, he's helping both of them out, trying to make their relationship work. And it also made me think, I kind of wish we got a little bit more of, like, the Matt-Stefan friendship. They really rarely interact.
Yeah.
But I feel like there was something there where I was like, they could have been set up for something good, and it could have been a way better way to bring in Matt. Because sometimes when he gets brought into the plot, it's like, what's he doing here? Yeah. How has he not died? But
especially in the first season when he's like, when
he's out of the loop,
only one who doesn't know, or I guess in season 2 more so, when Caroline's a vampire and he still doesn't know, and it's like, Tyler's a werewolf, Caroline's a vampire, and you still don't know what's going on. Okay, yeah, great.
I guess that's why they never do become friends, because he's so out of the loop
that's true.
How would they have possibly been friends?
But they do have the one good episode, which is later in the season, where they have the double date
is
and they
good.
Really bond over the cars, and I think they could have been really good friends, but the opportunity is just not there in this phase of life.
No.
If it had somehow been able to just be, like, normal and, like, he's just a vampire hanging out in Human Town, I do think they would have been friends.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately,
not the
case.
Yeah, not the cards they were dealt.
Yeah, no.
Speaking of which, the reason Elena was talking to Matt and was mad was because Stefan just disappeared for 4 days.
Yep.
It's been 4 days since the founders party at the Lockwoods. Mm-hmm. And Stefan has not been seen or heard of since, except for one little text message is, "Hi, Elena."
Yes,
I love
her.
Her mind. Again, she's playful this episode. Her impression's so funny.
No, she's very funny.
Yeah, like whatever he says. Like, I'm not gonna be available for a few days. He just goes MIA.
Yeah.
And it's because he's watching Damon.
Yeah, I don't understand why that means he has to be MIA for 4 days. I can see, like, the first day.
Sure.
Maybe 2 to make sure Zach is safe.
Yeah.
I guess. But, like, 3 or 4. I mean, we saw Damon was, like... I mean, I guess he's still pretty powerful, but...
But even then, I mean, later in the series, we've seen people locked down there, like, full vamp powers being caged in there.
Yeah,
like,
they somehow are always just
stuck in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, can a vampire really even get out of there at full power if they really wanted to? I don't know.
It seems like no, but I don't know. It just seems like a bolt. Maybe they theoretically could. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess obviously, like, what ends up happening, like, that, you know, he controls Caroline and she comes and gets him out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Stefan knew that was an option because we didn't, but
yeah,
I guess that was the only thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very weird that he felt the need to sit outside the little doorway and just watch Damon. Like, also, you couldn't even text.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
were
he
sitting
tells
there-
Zach, I don't like lying to her. Like, I'd rather just say nothing than lie. Like, what? That's so much worse. Yeah, I don't know. Or just say I'm dealing with Damon. She knew he just tried to kill Caroline.
Yeah. Which she does say, but, like, when she's, like, for 4 days,
Yeah.
it's pretty valid to be like, what could you have possibly been doing with him for 4 days?
Yeah.
Like,
But even still, it's not clear. Like,
yeah.
I get why she wouldn't know, but why don't we know?
We still don't
I
even
don't
know.
know.
We're in the know and we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the excuse was there. I suppose Stefan is just being, like, hyper cautious and actively watching the cell at all
guess.
times. I don't know.
Yeah, which I guess is good.
I suppose so. But he
Yeah.
gets out the 1 second.
Yeah,
Stefan
that's
leaves,
true.
he
Once
gets
Stefan
out.
leaves, so maybe he was there for a good reason. I don't know.
The one part we do get to see of Stefan watching Damon is giving this weird speech about the Dark Ages.
Where did that come from?
I
What?
have no clue. I mean, I guess we knew Stefan was a little historian, but, like,
Yeah.
so random.
Like,
He's
yeah.
like, in the Dark Ages, they would lock vampires up and let them, like, whatever. I don't
Try
even
to
know.
basically, like, make them, reform them.
Yes.
It's so weird. I mean, like,
So maybe
obviously they never mention this again.
no. So maybe that's what Stefan has been doing the past 3 days. Is like
But researching Dark Age vampire dry out
not
techniques.
even researching. He's like being like a reverend. Like he's preaching at Damon for 3 days. He's standing at the door being like, in the Dark Ages, and like you need to be a better person, and like,
Yeah.
just
Oh,
all
God.
this stuff. That's probably what he's doing. He's probably spending the 3 days just yelling at Damon. Not
No
even
wonder
yelling,
Damon wants to
preaching.
get out.
Yeah. Literally. No wonder he was like, I have enough strength to summon this girl from across town.
Yeah, no wonder.
I would summon that too.
Me too. Oh, God,
Wild.
yeah.
So that's what Stefan's been doing. Eventually he has to pry himself away to go to the grill.
Yes.
To
Yes.
try to salvage this relationship.
Yes, finally reappears at the grill, talks to Elena and Matt, and then we find out it's Tiki's grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
But an older man comes up to Stefan and Elena, and he's like, I know you, to Stefan. And basically he's like, I've seen you before, like Stefan Salvatore. I don't know, it's very vague in that
Yeah.
moment. But it, kind of clues Elena in. Something is going on.
Yeah. Because
But-
he kind of says, like, how do you look the exact same?
Yeah, that's
like,
what it is.
it's more than
Yep.
just, like, an old man being like, oh, young
I know
whippersnapper,
you.
I know
Yeah.
who you are. And no, it's like, I've known you.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
look the same and I don't.
Yeah, you've aged. Or you haven't aged, and I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something I've always wondered just about vampires, and especially Damon and Stefan always returning to Mystic Falls, is how are people not recognizing them? I mean,
Yeah.
related to Zach's stuff, we know that another time when they're in Mystic Falls, they compel some people to forget. Sure, I can believe that. But, I mean, we're from a small town.
Mhm.
If someone kind of came into town around the time of, like, a bunch of animal attacks and, like, came back, someone would absolutely recognize them. Like, there's no way this would happen.
But it's
like-
50 years is the one thing. 56
But
years.
but they're back again in the
Yeah.
90s, we know.
Oh, that's true.
And I feel like there's another time in between. Maybe not between the 50s and the 90s. But that's only 40 years. And this span is, like,
20.
yeah, maybe 20 years. So,
Yeah.
not even, I don't think.
Yeah, if they
I
had
don't
flashed
know.
back to the 90s, it would have made a lot more sense to say, like, okay, that was pretty recent. Like,
Yeah.
Even Liz Forbes could have recognized them
Yeah.
from 20 years ago. But, yeah, 50s is kind of crazy. I think Stefan could have gotten away with that. But it's also just weird because the sense I get from the 50s and the 90s is that they weren't, like, going out in town or anything. Like, this is the first
True.
time they're, like...
They keep it low-key.
Yeah, this is the
Ish.
first time they're really, like, going out and, like, acclimating into society and going to events and that kind
Yeah.
of thing. So, like, realistically, who's going to really remember them? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't remember people I met a few years ago, like, just one random night or whatever. Like,
I guess that's true.
you know, it's like 50 years later, you're not going to remember them. But,
I don't know, though.
They were involved in a pretty memorable incident, like you said. Like,
exactly.
That makes it pretty...
And also, I mean, if someone who looked like Ian Somerhalder showed up in our town and was like, I'm here, I would remember him every single day for the rest of my life. Like, if I ever saw him again, I'd be like, I love you. Like, I don't know. I'd be like, I know you.
That's so true.
So, like, I mean, granted, there are a lot of good-looking people in this town because it's a television show on the CW, but I don't know. I just feel like they're memorable. Like, they just stand out.
That's true. And I think the Salvatore family in general is pretty memorable because they're probably the weird family of, like, of the founding families. You know, they all have their specific jobs that they all inherit for some reason. The Fells are always going to be...
They're always newscasters.
For whatever reason.
The Forbes are always police.
Yeah, for some reason. And the Lockwoods are just always the mayors. They always inherit their job. I don't know why.
I guess.
Whatever.
But also I can see that happening in our town, so.
Sure, easily. But yes, so it's like, I guess that's kind of part of it too, is just the Salvatore family as a notable family is kind of like a weird oddity, and there's not a ton of them. So to, like, know of these two specific guys that kind of stand out, they kind of come around only when weird incidences seem to happen.
Yeah.
It is pretty memorable.
Yeah.
But still, great for that guy. 56 years later, and he was still like, I know
He's still with it. Yeah. And then Tiki gaslit him into thinking he has Alzheimer's.
Yeah. Rude.
She's the worst.
What did she say, though? She was like...
Alzheimer-y or whatever. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, she tried to put some weird spin on it.
Yeah. No, she was the worst. But then... to sort of redeem himself from that whole thing, like we mentioned before, Stefan and Elena have dinner, where Stefan is showing every single one of his red flags. He's saying...
It's true.
He's saying, favorite book, Great Gatsby, favorite director, Scorsese, like...
Favorite movie, Taxi Driver.
Yeah, favorite movie, Taxi Driver. Listens to Bob Dylan and a rapper who I will not mention.
Yeah.
I will not give them that clout, but... of being mentioned in our podcast. But, yeah... He's throwing out all these signs. I'm like, Elena, run. Run, girlfriend, run.
But I do like that we at least get that, like, sort of mentioning. It's really cute to do a scene where it's like, we as an audience do get a really good picture of Stefan from those moments. Interesting the things they chose to actually give to him for those moments. And clearly they hadn't thought that much ahead because I'm shocked he didn't say Bon Jovi. That's who I would have thought Stefan would say as his favorite musical artist because it becomes such a significant thing for him. But whatever. So I do like that scene still.
I do too. I do like when they give the characters like
a personalities.
And honestly, like, we joke that it's red flags, but it actually kind of works for Stefan in a yellow flag way.
Yeah.
Where it's just like he's definitely read a lot. He's watched a lot of TV. Like he said, he loves Seinfeld, I Love Lucy. Like he's probably just consumed a lot of things. And I feel like it kind of works.
That's the thing I also like, too, is that it also spans, like, every decade.
Yes.
Which, not that, like, any of those choices are so odd. Lots of people would say that they like I Love Lucy, Seinfeld, The Great Gatsby, and Taxi Driver. Those are some of the biggest media ever. But every single one of those are from completely different decades.
Yes.
And also none of them are from the current decade that they're living in. So it really shows, just another little hint that Stefan likes. He's an old soul.
Yeah.
Although he does like the one Miley song. That's
what he does like that one song. Yeah. Which, what would that song be? Party in the USA?
It had to have been
Party in the
USA. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Stefan.
Yeah.
You don't have to lie.
I hope it was Hannah Montana. I hope it was Best of Both Worlds.
Yes.
That's what meant.
Banger.
That one, literal banger.
Yeah.
Miley, that's her album.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get some like really good stuff with Stefan and Elena in that scene. Again, we find out the garlic. He can eat garlic.
Yes.
And they have that cute little moment where she's like, I'm not going to eat garlic unless you do. Like,
yes.
It's just a cute little, like, dating moment.
Yeah. I was thinking this whole time, if someone came over and was making me, like, pasta, Italian food, whatever, he was saying he, like, watched TV and watched movies and, like, was cultured and that sort of thing, I would be like, I'm in love. Instant swoon.
Yes.
Instant swoon.
Even if all of the media you chose is red flags, instant yes.
Yes, exactly. Which is also why it works. It's like, he's still he's doing something this episode.
Yeah, he definitely is. And then he's really doing something when she accidentally cuts herself.
Oh my god, yes.
He's
always.
Yeah, she starts washing her hand in the sink because she's cut her hand and it's bleeding, and she sees in the reflection, because it's dark outside but it's light in the kitchen, that Stefan like is staring at her with the vamp veins.
The vamp veins, yeah.
Every episode we struggle to say what those are called, but the vamp veins down his face, and she sees them pretty clearly, flips around, he turns around. By the time she gets him to turn around and show his face is normal. But, you know, again, gaslighting. She's just like, wow, I'm, like, really, like, hallucinating, or whatever she says. She's kind of like, it's not real. Like, I don't know how I saw that. That's crazy. Yeah. He's like,
He's like, that's one of your better qualities, or something like that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It's so weird. It just weirds me out how Stefan really has no control on the hunger. Like, none. Literally none. Because it's, like, the most, like, harmless little slice, barely, like, I mean, it was, like, a weird amount of blood for cooking. I've never cut myself to that degree while cooking.
No.
But still, he reacts that way. And, like, it takes him, like, a good
few seconds.
Like, 30 seconds, probably, to really get the, like, face, like, veins to go down.
Yeah, to pull himself back together.
Which is really surprising because, I mean, we've seen before, you know, Caroline goes through an experience where, like, you can't actually suppress the vamp veins. Like, it's gonna happen. But we've also seen all of the vampires in the show in many situations around people who have been injured, particularly their friends, their family getting injured, cut, and they don't for even a second.
No, they're fine.
That, like, hunger.
Yeah, they're fine.
So it says a lot about Stefan that in this moment he's like, I can't cool down from this. Like,
yeah, I don't know if they fully knew where they were going with his character, but it works.
It does really end up working. That's one of those things I think they did, like, so excellently in this show.
Yeah.
That I don't think they knew what they were gonna make Stefan. But they did it, and it plays so well. It just makes sense. It effortlessly builds to it.
Yeah.
But there's still more with this episode, because then, of course, the old man is at the car wash, and he again reiterates to Elena, Stefan and his brother, Damon Salvatore, in 1953.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, there's no mistaking now that you're talking about the same person that I am talking about.
Yes. Andy says different uncle, Joseph, this time. Yeah. Yeah. She's now pretty much aware, but she goes and does research. She uses Logan, like we said. She goes and does the research at, I guess, wherever the news station is, I guess.
In the meantime, Stefan is still at the car wash talking to Matt. And I really like that conversation.
They do have a good conversation.
Matt says something, I think, really important and interesting, which is Elena is big on trust.
Yes.
Elena, if she feels like there's something you're keeping from her, you can't stop you can't stop her. She will find out.
Yeah. Which perfectly parallels exactly what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's figuring out that Stefan is a vampire, and she pulls up the footage from 1953, which is interesting that Mystic Falls had
a camera crew,
archival footage, from a camera crew. Sure, okay. And she watches it and she sees Stefan in it. And this relates to my earlier point, so maybe I'm harping on this too much, but this is something I also always think about with the Vampire Diaries, especially now. How do vampires, like, not get caught in pictures and things like that, and then, or like videos, and be found out later on? Because, like, Stefan is the star of the Mystic Falls football team for a hot minute there.
That's true.
I'm sure there were photos taken.
Yeah.
I
think you put, like, enough, like, sort of doubt or, like, belief on the fact that most people aren't really going to look back at those photos. Like, I guess, unless something happened where it got put on, like, the cover of a newspaper that's being, like, hung up somewhere. Like, don't get your photo hanging in the Hall of Fame at the school for every student to see, because then you're definitely going to get caught. And I'm sure that they can do things to, like, you know, compel people and get rid of those, like, too concrete of evidence. But for the most part, like, general photos, I feel like if you're going, like, 50 years between any notable interactions with people, who's really going to, like, take that much note of it? And a lot of people are gullible, and you can kind of just be like, I look exactly like my uncle, don't I?
That's true. Yeah. I mean, especially with the 50s video that Elena looks at, he's sort of barely in it. Like, he's kind of half hidden.
Well, the weird thing they do is they completely zoom into him for no reason.
They're like, oh, there's the nephew. And they zoom in, like, right to his face.
Yeah. And it is clearly him, but, like, you could definitely make the argument to someone where it's like, I just look so much like my old uncle.
The genes are strong.
We happen to have the same name. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I would personally probably be changing my name to some degree if I were trying to go to the same town all the time. But yeah, I think you get away with a lot of it just on the fact of, like, most people don't care.
Yeah.
They're not going to, like, look into it. But when you start dating a girl and, you know, lying to her all the time and disappearing, she's kind of going to care enough to look into it.
She's going to look it up, yeah.
So, Elena figures some stuff out this one.
Yeah.
The ending scene is great. So memorable for me.
Yes.
Lots of things happen in the last sort of montage of this episode.
Yes.
We see Caroline back at her house, and I think she says a terrible thing to her mother.
Oh my God.
She's sitting in her room all upset, and Liz says, is it boy trouble? Like, you know, is it something with a boy? Caroline says, if I wanted advice about boys, I would call Dad. At least he's successfully dating one. What an evil, like, teenage girl thing to say to your mother.
She's the worst.
Yeah. So that's fun.
Yeah. And then later on, we also see her, like, sleeping in bed, and we see the moonlight, I guess,
yeah, the moonlight
is shining through Emily's necklace and has drawn a pentagram in the light on Caroline.
I want that necklace.
Me
I
too.
feel like that's so funny.
No, that's pretty cool.
It's just so funny the way they tried to place it, and the fact that it's on Caroline. It's like, is this supposed to be a symbol of something? Like, what is going on here? I don't know.
Not really. It's just because it was a witch's item related to Emily and the Bennetts and her necklace. After we see Caroline, we also see Bonnie goes to Graham's, who we see for the first time, and she sort of asks her for help to figure out the witch thing. And Graham's is like, I know exactly what's wrong with you and what's going on.
I love Graham's.
I love her. It sets a good tone. It's a good first impression.
Yeah, she's not such a drunk, bumbling
she's
alcoholic.
not drunk at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just unnecessarily being mean.
High school bullies, that's what they were being.
Yeah, no, they were. And then after that, we see Damon run into Vicky and all of her friends in the woods, and then Damon, of course, feeds on Vicky. We see her hand slide down the car.
There's not a lot to say about it now, but it's definitely going to be, like, majority of what we talk about in the following episodes. Yeah. So we'll save it for now.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
And speaking of things that will be the majority of the next episode, the last thing we see in this episode is, of course, Stefan grabs his stake. He's running out the door. He's going to go kill Damon.
Yes.
And at the door is Elena, who just says, What are you?
Yeah.
She's figured it out. She asks, but she knows.
She knows.
Yeah. So that's the end of this episode. It's a pretty solid one. I feel like we get some good build up, some good drama, some good interactions.
Yeah. This is a fun episode. I think, yeah, it's really, the plot lines are coming together. We get to see Grams.
Yeah.
Lots of highs.
I didn't think, like, when we were getting ready to watch this one, though, I didn't think I was going to like it as much. I was like, like, it's never fun to rewatch episodes that are mostly just about figuring out the truth, you know?
Because you already know,
We already know that Elena knows that he's a vampire. We already know what's going to happen after she finds out. Like, it's not fun to rewatch just figuring it out. But it actually ended up being, like, still a good rewatch episode.
Yeah. No, it was a great episode. I enjoyed watching it.
The worst part of it is Damon's just locked up the whole time, so we get no Damon jokes.
Not a lot of good Damon, but we do get one Damon death for in memoriam section.
Always.
Yeah, he had a good run of, like, one episode where he didn't kill someone, but he's back. He killed Zach Salvatore. The one kill. I think that's the whole in memoriam.
Truly rest in peace on that one. Yeah, we talked about that one already, so we don't need to go back into it, but really, like, one of the bad deaths that Damon does. One of the really bad. One. Really shouldn't have done that. He almost killed Caroline, too, so way to go, Caroline. 2 episodes in a row. She's gotten away from a Damon murder.
That's true. She is avoiding those murders like no one's business.
Left and right, yeah.
She is
dodging them.
Yes.
Literally. Speaking of Damon killing Zach, we now have our out-of-pocket moments, which, in my mind, one of the most out-of-pocket moments is Damon just killing Zach, just snapping his neck like it was nothing.
Yeah, that's pretty out of pocket. He does it with such ease and such, like, callousness that it's pretty out of pocket in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's maybe too dramatic to even be considered out of pocket. It's so bad.
Yeah. I don't know if that's what I was thinking is, like, out of pocket. Yeah, just because it feels so, like...
It's so morally
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's, like, not a fun out of pocket.
Yeah.
I was thinking... Well, I had two thoughts. I was thinking, one... Just that a high school fundraiser is named Sexy Suds Car Wash. I don't think we've said that yet.
Yeah, that's pretty
But
good.
I thought that was a little out of pocket. I don't know.
It's definitely out of pocket.
Yeah. And then related to the car wash, I was thinking Tiki and everything she says to everyone and how she's bullying everyone. I thought that was out of pocket.
Okay, that was also my other nomination was Tiki, just in general. But I was like, do we really want to go with just all the high school bullies always being out of pocket? But I like the Sexy Suds Car Wash. I think
Sexy Suds is good. Imagine if we had a fundraiser named that.
No, this is what I was thinking at the start of this episode. I was like, only on the CW. Because
only
17-year-olds be holding a car wash, which also I'm pretty sure Logan says in the news report that it somehow is supposed to, like, benefit Tanner's death somehow.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's supposed to.
Which he would have hated that, so I guess that's how... I don't know.
Yeah, that's how we're honoring him. Yeah. Doing something he would hate.
Like, is the money going to his, like, funeral? Like, I don't know what their plan is there, but they're like, yes, sexy car wash for our, like, evil teacher that died. I don't know.
Weird.
Logic there is
just
weird.
odd.
So that's out of pocket.
Yeah, that is pretty out of pocket. And as for best quote, I didn't really have a ton of, like, best quotes. The only thing I was thinking is when Elena goes to Stefan and says, "What are you?"
Yeah.
It's such a strong ending. Slightly, I mean, not for us rewatchers, but it's kind of a cliffhanger.
Yeah. It's also just, it's a great way to, like, phrase it. I feel like in every vampire teen girl romance, there's, like, the line.
Yes.
So I would also go with, "Who are you?" But it's really because Damon wasn't in this episode that there's no...
Yeah, there's no good quote because, Damon wasn't there to give one of his one-liners. Yeah.
Yeah. But we did still get a couple good songs, so that brings us to our song of the episode.
Yes.
I have to, of course, call out Don't Trust Me, playing at the car wash.
I wanted to call that out as well.
Yeah, that's a good moment that they play their song in the cheerleading episode. They do, like, the cheerleading routine.
Yeah,
so
it's nice Starstruck.
Yeah, so it's nice that they do 3 songs.
Yes.
2 songs from them.
Yeah.
Nice little callback.
Yeah. They do like to reuse artists in Vampire Diaries, and I do really like that. It just gives good continuity in, like, a very subtle way.
Yeah, I like that they do have, like, certain bands that are associated to certain people.
Yes.
Certain albums as well.
High School, 303.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, Mystic Falls High, Anthem, and anything by 303.
Yeah, and I think it's only the first season, but that makes a lot of sense.
It just
makes
2009,
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Don't Trust Me car wash is my honorable mention.
Yeah, I think that was my honorable mention as well. I also wanted to give a little honorable mention to the song that plays when Bonnie is burning the whole car wash down, Boom, by Angeli. I don't know, I just really like that song. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just vibey.
Yeah, you know what else is vibey? The end of this episode.
The end of the episode is vibey. Different vibey, but vibey.
Different vibe, but vibey. The Beauty of the Dark by Mads Langer. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that song. Beauty of the Dark is, like, it's such a reminiscent Vampire Diaries song for me because I had the first season did, like, a soundtrack on CD.
Of course they did.
Which I, of course, owned.
Of course.
And that song was on there, so I used to listen to it all the time. I also had it on my little iPod Nano at the time.
Yeah.
And would just listen to that song over and over again and be like,
love that.
Where's the light in your deep, dark blue room? Whatever the lyrics are. I still don't know the lyrics. But
yeah.
Love that song. It's such a good energy.
Good. Yeah. It's as soon as it started playing, I was like, oh my god, I know this song. I associate it with the Vampire Diaries.
Definitely. So, it's the perfect realizing your boyfriend is a vampire song.
Yeah.
That's how you describe it.
Yeah. It really is.
So that's, I think, the song of the episode.
It is the song of the episode, yeah. I'm good to agree with that.
Great. Now we've got all of our best quotes, best song, out of pocket.
In memoriam. Hit all the highs.
We hit all the highs. We hit all the lows.
Yes.
And
of
now,
episode 5.
So this is episode 5. Jeez, we're flying faster than I think.
Yeah.
So next is season 1, episode 6.
Lost Girls.
Lost Girls.
Flashback.
I'm really excited for the
Unintentional
flashback.
Unison.
We're both just really excited, high-pitched for the flashback.
I do love Lost Girls. It's good.
Yeah, it is a great one. So, in the meantime, you can watch. Now we have several episodes out.
Yes.
You can listen to any of our podcasts on Spotify, or you can watch the video versions on our YouTube.
Yes.
And you can follow us on TikTok and Instagram.
Pretty much that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
We're still clunky at these outros, guys. Just bear with us.
Yeah. No, that was good.
Okay, cool.
No, that was good. Yeah.
I think that's it then.
Yeah, that's everything.
Okay, well, thanks for watching or
see
listening.
See you next week. Yeah.
Bye.